Everyone remembers their first kiss. Everyone remembers their first heartbreak. But weebs remember something arguably more important. Their first harem anime. And that's what we're here to talk about. What I call the gateway genre into anime.
To Jurassic Park. No, 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 no.
And yes, I'm talking about the show that permanently rewired your teenage brain and turned you into the little culture degenerate you are today. Welcome. I did a poll on the channel to see what everyone's first were. I got some pretty surprising results. Familiar of Zero, My Beloved, which also inspired this video remake, is shown to be a part of future videos. Maybe consider sticking around. You know what? Let's play a little game. If I mention your first or favorite harem anime, you owe me a sub. But hey, anyways, what you're here for. Let's talk about where it all began for a lot of us, the gateway genre. Your first harem anime isn't really something you choose. You kind of stumble across it, fall into it even. Probably through a really risky looking early YouTube thumbnail. It's also taught a lot of younger people, yes, your search history does save on the family PC. Watching your first harem anime is kind of the equivalent of like a jump scare. You go in thinking, oh cool, this is a really cool supernatural anime, look at these cool swords, these cool characters, some comedy, some romance in there, holy moly, this looks sick. And then maybe within like 15 minutes, you'll be wondering why your monkey brain is activating when you see jiggle physics akin to Jello. And the fact that almost every character will have mountains on their chest aside from trash, a lolly bait. This already describes your journey. Well, welcome to the Punish family, son. It only gets worse from here. Let's talk about the process, shall we? Stage 1, the blissful ignorance of your former self. You press play with the innocence of a newborn fetus. You don't know what danger you're in. The wolf in sheep's clothing this cool supernatural anime is hiding within. You think to yourself, this looks cool, not knowing that the physics violations you're about to witness are insane. This will be the reason you become a weeb and you don't even know it yet. All you know is, my friend said this was good, or that YouTube thumbnail looked kind of fire. After this we have stage 2, realization. Suddenly every female character within a 5-mile radius wants to date or do other things to the main character. Mind you, a main character with the charisma of a Valorant player. Meaning is 0. This is when you realize something's not right here, Scoob. Why does the main character's strength scale with the lack of clothing the women are wearing? But by then, it's too late. You're too deep. You think, holy moly, this is fucking awesome. And thus, the journey begins to becoming a weeb. An angel has lost its wings. A devil has gained 67. This is where it all begins. How many of you ended up watching this video? Probably. Stage 3, corruption. This is where the danger is. The damage lies. Somewhere between episode 3 and 5, there is always a moment, a specific scene where you realize, you know what, this is kind of like dog shit trash, but I kind of like it. This might be kind of fire. And that is when you become one of us. Truly punished, you're too far gone. The degeneracy gets in your bloodstream. You start seeing things like plot and character development on completely different axes. Plot? Who needs plot if your character got you feeling some kind of way? You think to yourself. You're gone. There is no coming back. From this day forth, you are punished. Highschool DXD, Prison School, High School of the Dead, Familiar of Zero, Testament of You Devil Sister, and many more become your daily cycle for a while until you finish them. Stage 4, post-nut clarity, the final stage. The show ends, you finish the last episode and just sit there, in total silence like you have witnessed God. Younger me's honest reaction to finishing Highschool DXD, to be honest. You think, am I okay? Should I talk to someone about what I just witnessed? The answer to both is no, you fool. But guess what? You immediately go looking for more. Bam! Rosary Vampire. Bam! Sword Princess. Bam! H-Hex H-Gakon. Hell, even something like Fairy Tail if you're desperate enough, I suppose. No one has seen H-Hex Gakon but me, and I'm commenting about that. Your first harem anime will always stick with you, as well as your favorite character from it. And there's a reason. It was your first experience. The first time you realized this genre may be peak, and the first time you thought, what if 2D women were real? Your first harem anime is the exact moment you thought, how does this asshole not realize all of these 5 women like him? Is he dumb? And here you are, watching a video about it, fully cooked. But you know what? That's where we all, brother. Let's go down the rabbit hole of common first harem animes. Remember, if I mention yours, you owe me a sub. YouTuber stuff. Now, DXD won the poll by far. 65% said Highschool DXD was your first harem anime. That means statistically, this channel is gathering a pretty refined audience of degenerates. And I'm very proud of you all. Truly punished. Good taste as well. Highschool DXD, immaculate taste. DXD was unironically probably one of the better, more adult anime to start off with. It lures you with the obvious assets, jiggle physics to rival Nikkei, then bam. Actual interesting and also attractive characters. World building that involves angel, devil, and fallen angel politics. What the fuck do you mean God is dead? Like, that coming from a harem anime is wild. And actual pretty good animation, to be fair. Not to mention, the romance build-up is better than most actual romance anime. Probably called something akin to that time my classmate took me to a certain mysterious island and fell in love. That was a mouthful, wasn't it? You go in for fan service, stay for the legitimately shocking world building, then leave your bank questioning why all of your funds have gone the 2D statues of women and gacha games. That time I got reincarnated in the financial debt because the banner character was kinda hot. Usually the meme is people watch harem anime and ichi anime for the plot, but with DXD, that might genuinely be the case. If you have a friend who says they watch DXD for fan service, they are lying. And after DXD are the Rosario Soldiers. Now, when I was younger, I could not find this anime anywhere. It was more hidden than your fucking search history. While things like DXD episodes were usually available in like 480p, Rosario Vampire had like clips in no particular order, so you had to solve an actual puzzle to try and watch this on YouTube back then. But the hunt was worth it according to a lot of you. Monster girls, gothic vibes, and the protagonist with the emotional depth of a shallow kid's pool. But the show still hit, and apparently the plot was actually pretty good, but they didn't really explore that in the anime. Apparently in the anime it focuses more on the fan service, he said, from what I've heard. Because I'm not gonna lie to you sports fans, I have not watched this one yet.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I pulled this from the wiki and what you guys are saying in the comments. But it's definitely on the watch list now. If Rosario was your first, comment vampire arc below. That's so dumb. Don't do that. I'm not built for dumb YouTuber engagement, be it just like anime did. If you grew up watching Familiar Zero, you were extremely cultured. Instead of vampires, we have nobles, aristocrats. It's Familiar Zero is like just really good. It doesn't focus on the elements of Ichi and Harem like too much. Like it's not like a big pushing point, but there's elements there. Familiar Zero is where you go to when you want romance, danger, to tsundere who can has the power to commit domestic terrorism, and the protagonist who gets punted like a football at least once per episode, if not more. I really liked Familiar Zero. It wasn't extremely overbearing with its fan service, as I said. It honestly focused more on the cutesy romance aspects than like the fan servicey Ichi, which is still listed as, but it doesn't go in too much of that. Not to mention the like oldish anime style with some of the visual noise. Oh, it makes it look really cozy and nice. As said, although not the most fan servicey or harem anime, despite it being listed as one, it's still really good, and a really good way to start off your gateway into the rest of this degeneracy. If this one was your first, you have impeccable taste and probably had a decent childhood. And if not, I'm sorry to hear, brother. Give me a hug. Lab is like harem with lightly sprinkled in fan service. It doesn't go like full-on Queen's Blade or DXD, but still has the classics like swimsuit episodes, walking on some of the context, the oh no I tripped and fell on you kind of thing. Like Familiar Zero though, it definitely was one of the more innocent choices you could have picked for your first. Now I don't have a huge amount to say on Date Alive as I didn't get too far into it. It wasn't really my thing, but I understand people like it. My friends were obsessed with it, so if it was your first, you're probably pretty cultured, you know. You're probably on something's good list, you know. I can't say how much one of those. So, but next we have a banger. no, we don't. Now listen, before you get upset, I used to be a big Infinite Stratos enjoyer, right? When I was younger, but after rewatching it, I realized it's not good. First of all, the fucking characters aren't even of age, even the ones with shoulder boulders. Instead of making that age number one higher, you know, the author was like, harem and ichi anime, what would be the appropriate age? What would suit best? Ah, yes, 16 and 17. Even outside that, the plot is just meh. It is barely even explained outside of only women can pilot these mecha-kin suits called Stratos, and this guy can also. So naturally he attends an all-girls school. Are you still with me? Because I've fallen asleep. What's that? You want more plot? Not so fast, Buster. We have a beach episode and a weird sibling thing to attend to, because of course the author wanted a weird sibling between these two. Like, why does the younger brother want to fuck the older sisters? I mean, if you like it, more power to you. But rewatching it, I just didn't vibe with it. The MC is denser than most. It falls into the usual trope of, you know, nothingness. And the tropes, it doesn't really even do anything interesting with them. To sum up Infinite Stratos, if you haven't seen it, even if you have not seen Infinite Stratos, you have seen Infinite Stratos. Okay, this one kind of slaps. Lilies versus Butlers. If Lilies versus Butlers was one of your first, congratulations, you got quite lucky. And not quite DXD levels of cultured and lucky, but still pretty good. I think it slaps. Of course, it has the usual tropes. The MC goes to a mainly female-dominated school, as well as character tropes. However, from the get-go, there's a very clear romance option. It doesn't really stray from that romance option at all. So calling it a harem's a bit of a stretch per se, but not really. For a harem anime, the main character's design actually kind of sticks out a bit. It's not just a long black hair with like bright blue eyes. He has actual design qualities. This show just drops in the deep end of an academy where they're trying to be servants for the elite. Nobody is fucking normal. Everyone's on the crack pipe or no brain. Physics don't exist in literally any scene, not even just the, you know, the fan service ones. Things just be happening. And of course, the camera always focuses on the most interesting points within the, you know, shot. Some Alfred Hitchcock levels of cinematography, really. It's the kind of anime where you can't really summarize the plot without sounding like you're an absolute degen, but it's still kind of peak. So yeah, that's about it. I know I didn't mention High School Dead here, but I turned a few clips and I do want to make a separate video on High School Dead by itself. Same with some of the other ones I have on here too, actually. But yeah, anyways, that's it. Thank you for the poll votes. Thank you for 400 subs. I'll make a video on that too. Bye.